Hello again, guys. It's Carly from the Poetry of Nice. First of all, I hope you all had an amazing Christmas with your friends and families. We did. We had a lot of fun, so I hope you guys did too. Okay, so I have a sales update video for you guys today. This is just over the last couple of weeks. This is not everything that I have sold, but this is sort of just a roundup, really, an example of lower end items, slightly higher end items, some vintage stuff, some not, just everyday run-of-the-mill stuff, as it were, some clothing, some hard goods, just a little bit of everything. And this is all going to be stuff that I have sold on the 3 platforms that I sell online on, which is Etsy, eBay, and Poshmark. So if that sounds interesting to you and you're new and you haven't subscribed yet, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button and the bell button as well, so you know when a new video comes up, and you can kind of follow along and see what I buy and what I sell while I make a living selling used items online from my home. Okay, so I'm going to get stuck in and show you everything. As per usual, I will go ahead and tell you how much I paid for each item, where I picked it up, and how much it's sold for. The prices I give you that it's sold for is just the actual amount. That doesn't include shipping. As usual as well, every item the buyer has paid shipping for, but if there's anything that is sort of goes against that, I don't know how to say it, goes against that, and I ended up doing free shipping, I will of course let you know. And yeah, that pretty much sums it up. So there's actually a few items as well in here that have sold from the last haul that I did, which was just a couple of weeks ago. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items that I've sold so far from that haul. I'll go ahead and point those out as I go through my sales. And I will let you know at the end of this video, if you're interested, stay tuned, how much I've made so far just from that one specific church rummage sale haul. Because if you've seen that whole video, and again, if you haven't, I'll link the whole video playlist down below so you can go ahead and find it. It's the last one that I did, the epic church rummage sale haul. It's nothing like that seems spectacular. There's very sort of normal items, but I have done all right so far, and everything else is 100% pure profit at this point. So stay tuned if that interests you. Okay, less babbling. Let's get stuck in. So we're going to start with Etsy, as I always do. This vintage sun-kissed hat, you can see it here, it says good vibration, super cool. I picked this up for 25 cents at a rummage sale. It did have some marks, as you can see here, and that's obviously disclosed as well in the description. But it was just overall just really interesting. It wasn't perfect, you can see here, but it was a very cool piece of vintage advertising, all that kind of stuff. And this sold for $59.95. So I didn't see that coming, truth be told. But yes, 25 cents into $59.95, and I hope the person absolutely loves it. Next Etsy item. Oh, it's going to be slow. Please don't be slow. Okay, so this did not do as well as I'd hoped it would. I do pretty good with vintage plush, especially like the character plush specifically. This I paid $1 for. It was obviously Simba from The Lion King. I think it was from 1993, if I remember. And it's a hand puppet, and it roars. It was full working condition. When you open its mouth, it makes the roaring sound. But for whatever reason, this just didn't do that well. It's been listed on both eBay and Etsy for a good while now, months and months, and eventually someone scooped up for $19.95, which still isn't bad for a $1 investment, but did not do quite as well as I hoped it would, or sell as fast as I hoped it would either. Okay, so this tie I've had for at least a year at this point. I picked it up with another one that was the WWF, like the Wildlife Foundation charity thing. And the other one had like big cats on it, like wild cats and all that kind of stuff. That one sold really quickly. This one did not. This was from 1991. It's just kind of hung out for a while, but it did finally sell for $19.95. And this cost me 25 cents at a rummage sale as well. So, not too bad. This I would not pick up again. So this sold for $19.95, and I only paid 50 cents for this. It's obviously a vintage battleship. It was from 1978. It was as close to complete as I could figure it out to be. I put everything down here. I counted everything out, and that is why I probably wouldn't do this again. For the sale of $20, it was a lot of work to like count out pieces and sort of take a bit of a manifesto kind of situation going. And it wasn't too hard to ship either, but it's not as simple as folding up a piece of clothing and sticking it in there. So I probably wouldn't do this again. But the next example I'm going to show, not the next one, the one after it, is something I would. So let's move along. Vintage eyeglasses. I have about approximately $3 written down for this. I used to sell these all the time. Every single week I'd be selling vintage eyeglasses for, and this one was $34.95 it sold for. That was about average what I would sell, and that has just slowed down so much for me, perhaps because I'm not really listing them that much anymore, even though there's still a few sat in my shop. However, I would still pick them up when I found them for cheap, because that's a great, turnover for $2 or $3 into $34.95 is not too bad at all. Super easy to ship, very light and all that kind of stuff, but definitely has slowed down for me. So there's those eyeglasses. And then this is a game I will still continue to pick up, vintage backgammon. I know that I have mentioned this in previous videos. These just sell so quickly for me. So this is a great example. This one is not even a specific brand. It came in this like faux leather and corduroy carry case. This is what I usually look out for, these kind of carry cases. It was complete and actually had instructions of actually the pieces and stuff were still sealed for the most part. This was in pretty darn good shape, except for the shakers actually had started to crumble inside. Now that doesn't sort of affect their being able to use them, but you could just feel they were kind of squishy inside, which is like an age thing. Obviously all that was disclosed, the occasional scuff, but overall not too bad. But this I paid $1 for at a rummage sale, which is really all I will pay for them, is sort of $1 to $2, but it's sold like they usually do for me within 14 days of listing, and it's sold for $29.95, and it's really not that difficult to ship. I just wrap it in bubble wrap and I slide it into like the board game box, and it is good to go. And they are kind of heavy, so I do try and bear that in mind when it comes to the shipping and stuff. I try to be as specific as possible in terms of the game with the box weight together. Like I'll always weigh them together and get that as close as possible for calculated shipping, because for some people, depending where they are in the country, the shipping will just seem extortionate, and some people it won't. So, being specific helps. Okay, on to Poshmark. So these sold for $25. I picked these up at a rummage sale back in November for 50 cents. I don't really know what else to say other than they're Ankline, which is not a fantastic brand, but they were a cute style and a cute print, so I went ahead and grabbed them. They were in very good shape overall, size 9.5, and the person bought them outright without sending an offer, so 50 cents into 25. Again, this is before fees, so Poshmark will take fees off of the top of there, which is 20%, but I'm just going to give you the full price that the person paid. And obviously shipping on top. Okay, Cachet. This is a brand that I assumed this piece would do better. I think the louder the piece is in terms of embellishments, like sparkle and beading and all that kind of stuff, the better that it does. This is actually, I believe, the newer label. If you go to their website, this is what their logo looks like right now. But this just took, it's 100% silk. It just took forever to sell. So eventually I took a best offer of $18. I only paid about $1 for this at a yard sale, but still, it took a lot longer than I thought it would. Okay, so this is one of those items from my most recent haul video. This like mock turtleneck Calvin Klein sweater. So this cost me 50 cents, as did everything in that filler bag church sale haul, and obviously sold for $18. And that sold within, within a day or two of listing. It was pretty quick. These also sold within a day or two of listing and were from that same haul. Just Maurice's wide leg, dark wash denim jeans. I almost didn't list these, honestly. I didn't think they were going to do anything good. And okay, they only sold for $12. I get that, but they only cost me 50 cents and they sold within 24 hours of listing. So heck yeah, why not? Joe's jeans, these took a long time to sell. I eventually took a best offer of $25, and I paid about $5 for these at a thrift store, I believe. So probably overpaid for these. I'd be a lot more selective now when it came to Joe's jeans. I'd probably look $2 and less is probably what I would pay for them, unless they were like a high-rise skinny or something like that. That's very popular. This I paid 50 cents at a yard sale back in the summer. Just a new with tags, Talbots. It was originally $60, and then this was all beaded, so, very nice for Christmas time, especially if you live perhaps in a warmer area or something like that. It sold for $15, which is not too bad for Talbots, and it was only a size medium, so I wasn't expecting it to do spectacularly anyway. Anyone who has watched some of my past haul videos, like from not too long ago, I picked this up at a thrift store when it was all 50% off, so I paid about $2 for this shirt. I could not leave it behind because it was amazing. All this is embroidered. It's obviously vintage. It's vintage Disney store, so 90s. 20s is what we're talking here. And it was just fantastic. There's no way that that can go off to a landfill, in my opinion. So I took a best offer of $30 because I would like to move it quickly. Like I said, I spent $2 and it sold within about a week of listing. And it had plenty of interest as well, but $30 is about average that I would expect to make from something like this, like on Etsy or whatever. In the last few years that I've been selling vintage Disney clothing, between 30 and 40 is fairly typical. Now, I'm pretty sure that I could have hung on to this and try to get more out of it, but I'm far more interested in moving it quickly at a good turnover at this point. And it does kind of take that special person to buy it, if we're honest, you know, who can really rock it. Same with something like this. So another example of the random things that you can sell on Poshmark. Don't just think it's for Etsy and eBay. A vintage dressed up dog's ugly sweater. I just don't even know what to say. But I paid about $1 for this at a rummage. It was either a rummage sale or estate sale. I can't remember now. And like, who could walk past this and not pick this up at that price? But it sold for 20, best offer of 20. I happily took that on Poshmark. I hope they love it. And this was Sparrow by Anthropology. Let me go ahead and show you that tag in case you have not seen it. There we go. This was just a knit sort of pencil skirt, obviously sold for $18, and I paid 50 cents at a rummage sale for this item. All right, and on we move. Okay, so this was also from that last haul from just a week or two ago. This actually sold on a best offer of $25. It was new with tags, like a wool blend, turtleneck, as you can see here, just an oversized sweater. Like I said, it came from that haul, so it cost me 50 cents. And this sold within, 4 or 5 days of listing. This was also from that rummage sale. This was a very, very fluffy Angora rabbit hair and wool blend. It was Guess collection, which I wasn't super familiar with other than I know Guess, but it had this black label. I loved the fabric content. I liked the style a lot, so I decided to go ahead and kind of give it a go. And it got loads of love on Poshmark. I think I had about 4 or 5 different offers on eBay, but they were all lower, like almost around half price of what I was asking, which was originally $40. Then someone came in and offered me $35. Heck yeah, so it cost me 50 cents and it sold for $35 plus shipping. This was also from that rummage sale. So Land's End is a brand when it's an item like this that I really like to pick up. So this was a larger size, being a size 16 tall. And I just really like the style of it. It's very classic. And this sold. No, it didn't. Hang on, I'm looking at my notes. Bear with me here. Okay, this sold for $24.99. Here we go. A best offer of $24.99. I was originally asking $34.99, but it cost me 50 cents and it sold within about 2 days of listing. Okay, we're back on track now. Thank you for bearing with me. Okay, and this was also from that rummage sale. This sold within a day of listing. Again, if you watch my channel for any amount of time, you know that I absolutely love selling vintage collegiate wear, like t-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, that kind of stuff. So this was Minnesota Football Club. This was from 1993. It actually said that down here on the sweatshirt itself. Very cool tag, in my opinion. It was in a really, really good shape. It did have a couple of light marks on the sleeve that's disclosed there, but overall really good, really nice shape for it being a little bit older. And this sold just straight out, no best offer, just for $34.99. And again, it cost me 50 cents and they did pay shipping. Okay, J. Jill, Love Linen. This is one of the sort of umbrella things of J. Jill that I'll pick up. I also like to pick up like Pure Jill and occasionally the Wherever collection, just depending on what it is. But Love Linen definitely tends to do well for me. So this is a wide leg cropped linen pant, and this sold for the $18.39 that you see there on sale, and I paid $1 for these originally. Out of season, but it doesn't matter. This has only been listed for around a month. I picked this up at a thrift store back at the beginning of December, I think it was. It was in one of my haul videos, and I paid about $3.50 for this on sale. It was all silk chiffon, 100%. And it sold for $27.99, as you see there, with the buyer paying shipping, so not too bad. This, I love doing vintage swimwear, and I am so excited that that is coming back around soon, even though I would list it now for sure, but it tends to do better for me in the spring and summer. Anyway, onwards. So this sold for the $22.99 you see here, the full asking price, and I paid 25 cents at a filler bag. Just a super 90s, like high cut very kind of neon graphic going on. Overall, just a really neat piece. These Nike Pro leggings I got in one of my like mystery reseller unboxing videos. Again, I'll go ahead and link that down below in case you haven't seen that yet. So I actually paid more than I would have paid in a thrift store for this when everything was evened out. It was about $6.25 I paid for this, but they did sell for the full $24.99, as you can see there. And they sold within about 2 weeks of listing, so it's not too bad. And I still have a few items from that box that need to sell. This is obviously a vintage 90s Lisa Frank stationery box. It had all of the drawers with it, so it was complete in that way, and actually overall it was in a really good shape. I paid 50 cents at a rummage sale for this, and you can tell it's from the 90s rather than being a newer piece because the L on Lisa Frank is what I would say a capital letter, a uppercase. It's uppercase, and the newer pieces like that Lisa Frank still produces is usually a lowercase L. Yes, but 50 cents, and it sold for $29.99 plus the shipping. Express, I paid $1 for this at a rummage sale. $1 is about as much as I would pay, but I figured that this might be kind of cool for like New Year's, which is obviously about the time that it's sold. And it sold for the $13.99 you see there plus shipping. This took forever to sell, and I don't know why, because it was so darn cute. But it's obviously like a wool blend cardigan with all of this awesome crochet high neck detail. And this is a gray velvet belt. Like, I just thought it was so sweet. But it sold for $16.99 finally after being listed for, oh my gosh, it must be like 7 or 8 months at this point. And I paid $1 for it, so not too bad. This I picked up at a rummage sale for about $3. It's pure hand knit, which is sometimes sold at Anthropologie, though this didn't have the Anthropologie RN number, and I don't always feel comfortable putting that if I'm not certain, so I don't. Really nice decorative buttons. And then let's show you the label just in case you haven't seen it. There we go. That's what it looks like. It is a nice sort of higher end brand. It did have like the odd little, as you can see there, sort of slight pull to the knit. But overall, just a really nice piece. Paid $3 for it. Sold for a best offer of $17.99. These things are still selling. I got these for free at a yard sale. Lady saw me looking at them and said, oh my gosh, you can just take them. And I think I got 6 of them in total. I think I have 1 left for sale now, and I have 1 that I kept because I thought they were cool. They're from 1995, just sort of small to medium sized vintage blow molds, and I've sold them anywhere from like $20, and then in this case I took a best offer of $13 because we're out of season and I got them for free, so why not? And the last thing I'm going to show you is these. I paid 50 cents at a filler bag. They are Tom's Broke Oxford. It's almost like a denim shoe is what it was. And I took a best offer of $26.99 on these because they were used. And I just didn't get as much sort of love as I thought they would, or that I hoped they would. So $26.99 is what I accepted, which again isn't too bad for 50 cents. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and just tell you about the rummage sale, like the last haul video I did and how much I've made so far. So if you remember from that haul video, if you saw it, I spent a total of $40 on every single item that I bought there. And it was a lot. So it averaged out at about 50 cents a piece, so obviously about 80 items roughly. So far, gross from that, from just the 6 sales I showed you, I've made $149.98. Now, when you take into consideration the fees, and I've gone ahead and called it 20% across the board, even though eBay is slightly less, just to kind of like make it, you know, fair. I want to pretend like I don't pay as much fees as everybody else. So I'm just going to call it 20% just for the sake of being transparent and whatnot. And when you take off the $40 that I spent for the entire lot, so not just these items here, because that obviously would be $3 since they were 50 cents a piece, but just the whole $40, I've still already net $79.98. So yeah, that's a good amount of profit. That's not too bad. And like I said, everything else, so I've sold 6 items. I still have 74 items left to sell. Everything else is nothing but pure profit at this point. So I'm very pleased with the way that's going, and I'm just working through it, photographing and listing as we speak. Whew. All right, you guys, I hope that this was an interesting video. How are your fourth quarter, like holiday sales going? Because mine ground to a halt over the last few days, which is to be expected. but it's still always just a little bit nerve-wracking not to hear any activity at all on your phone. So here's to hoping that things pick up as we roll into the new year. I'm sure they will. They always do. And yeah, let me know how your Christmas went and how your sales are going and what are you looking forward to the most in the new year. All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.